Dylan M134D. It is a 6-barreled, electrically driven machine gun chambered in 7.62mm NATO and fires at a fixed rate of 3,000 shots per minute. That's 50 shots per second. The M134D's high rate of fire provides extreme shot density, which allows the operator to suppress multiple targets in a compressed period of time. This is due to a combination of factors: high rate of fire, extremely dense shot grouping, and high weapon stability. There's hardly any pitch or yaw when operating this weapon. Gatling guns typically feed from a 3,000 or 4,000 round magazine. They're capable of long periods of continuous fire without threat or damage to the weapon, making them an excellent choice for defensive suppression. As effective as this weapon is, your allies don't need it. They have something deadlier, more efficient, and more versatile. They have you. With your specialized skills, training, and equipment, you can suppress multiple targets with pinpoint accuracy, support allies with air support, and erect a dampening field capable of making allied troops more resilient to enemy fire. You are utilizing the M134D Gatling build.
Unbeatable!
Ally is unbeatable.
Mr. Frog Dog, nice pass! Frog Dog score! Neutral ball! Let's go, Missouri! These teams are evenly matched. Let's hope somebody gets pulped real soon. Throws to Frog Dog. Nice pass.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Vagran Gaming, and this is the last section for the minigun build. A couple of quick notes about the gear. I made a slight mistake. The accuracy number you want to reach is 110, not 111. And, as you can see here, I'm participating in the Fred Costanza challenge because I stopped short. I'm just a little bit shy. And that's including with my augment that's for accuracy and for the crit rating. And for the most part, not too much of my attacks are missing or being resisted, but in PvP on occasion, if I'm up against someone who is popping some of their high defense abilities, some of my attacks do miss. But usually, the only times I miss is if they're using dodge or something like that and I don't notice it, in which case I'd miss anyway. So this number is just a little bit shy of where I want it. I'm not 100% positive if I can find maybe a couple of better gear pieces, because I'm trying to keep it to just 3, but I might need to make an accuracy augment, because being a little bit over also doesn't hurt. There's just not a ton of benefit. But that's where I'm at right now. And I've got my alacrity roughly where I want it, because I want my cast times to be at about 1.4 seconds. And that works fine, because in order to get it to 1.3, I'd need to use a ton of slots for alacrity, which I'd be missing out on a lot of crit. So, that's where I'm at right now. But again, I'm still learning my way through the gear, and this is like a just for fun thing. I'm doing this not because I'm good at it, but because I enjoy it. I use it a lot in PVE, but I also do enjoy using it in war zones, as you can tell from the footage. I have a lot of fun running into war zones and trying to shoot as many targets simultaneously as possible. It's a lot of fun. So the big thing that allows you to target multiple people is refraction point. With this tactical, penetrating rounds does splash damage to targets around the primary target and causes your next trick shot to deal splash damage as well. So that's what you're seeing in most of the demonstration footage. Penetrating rounds is hitting everybody, and then when you follow it up with your trick shot, that also hits everybody. And when it's available, you can do it once. You shoot off your penetrating rounds once, hit your trick shot, then hit burst volley, and do it again. And you get to enjoy a light show. It's fantastic. It is a lot of fun to do. The set bonus I'm using with this build is the Precise Targeter. And I like this one because it lowers the cooldown of illegal mods, which is good for your armor penetration. Also, you get some energy back, which is also nice, helps with energy management. And Smuggler's Luck gets 3 charges, and its cooldown is reduced by 15 seconds. I like that because, in case you're not familiar, Smuggler's Luck basically buffs up the crit chance for aimed shot. So, you'll fire off 2 charge bursts, lowers the cooldown of this down to 1.4, and then, yeah, it'll do a ton of damage and you get 3 charges instead of 2. So, oh, I should also show you real quickly, that's the wrong button, the utilities. And this I'm still working on because I'm not the best gunslinger. This is just something I'm doing for fun. But this is what I'm working with right now. Get the ballistic damperness when I drop into cover. I use snapshot for the instant cast of charge burst. That's really handy, and that's why on occasion when I see an opening, I'll pop out of cover and back into cover because it resets both of these once the allotted time has passed. I'm using crippling diversion because I like to be able to throw a diversion down, which primarily it's used to counter other snipers, but if I see a group of people, I can throw this down to make it take longer for them to get away from each other, and then my penetrating rounds is more likely to hit a bunch of people because it'll take them a while to escape the gas cloud, assuming they try to do that. Hotwire defenses, because I need all the help I can get staying alive. I'm not the best at defending myself in this class, so getting my defense screen to absorb more damage is super helpful. On occasions, and even during the demonstration footage, someone came up behind me and threw an assault plastique. I hit my hotwire defenses for my defense screen, rolled away, and I pretty much absorbed the entire blast, which was nice. I took reset engagement, and I use this because sometimes you need to pull a Zoidberg and make it run for it. So surrender purges all movement impairing effects and it gives you a speed buff, and I like that. But the other reason why I took it, because this build is heavily reliant on using penetrating rounds, the final shot of speed shot and penetrating rounds knocks the target back if they are within 10 meters. In very rare occasions, I'll be able to target someone as they're charging me, and if I can time it out right, I'll start firing off penetrating rounds. They'll get within the 5 to 10 meter range, and then that last tick will hit and it'll knock them back. I'll hit burst volley, they'll charge again, and we'll just repeat the process. And then if they get close again, then sometimes I can use my knockback. And basically I want to be able to push people away from me as much as possible, because that's helps me to live a little bit longer. So the other benefit, again, and this is just more synergy, working with penetrating rounds, it'll apply a slow. So not only am I knocking them away from me, I'm applying a slow that'll last for about 3 seconds, and that's just to help me get more room. Down here I took Scrambling Field. Basically it'll give me a bit of a heal. It's not much, but every little bit can count sometimes when I'm trying to like survive as long as I can. And sometimes I like to do this if I just see a bunch of my allies taking damage. It's also helpful to pop this up because it helps defend everybody. Lay Low. The cooldown of Hunker Down is reduced by 15 seconds, and Pulse Detonator, which is another reason why I took this, it knocks them back an additional 5 meters. So I'm trying to keep as much space as possible to keep the melee guys off of me. Perfect Scheme reduces the cooldown of Bag of Tricks, because Bag of Tricks, as you see here, gives you a bunch of stuff. Immediately finishes the cooldowns on Dodge, Surrender, Defense Screen, Pulse Detonator, and Hunker Down. So basically, you use a bunch of your defenses, pop Bag of Tricks, and you get them back. I'm still getting the hang of using that appropriately, but so far, it's been a party. So, as you can tell from watching the demonstration, the rotation that I've been using right now is very simple, but I'll go through it very slowly. I'm going to start with the little poison dart here. And the reason why I do that, the Vital Shot dot is next to nothing, but it gives them marked, so ranged attacks do more damage. Sometimes as I'm running up, I'll fire that off. That's like a rangefinder. Drop into cover. Go for the penetrating rounds. Follow that up with a trick shot. Then, hit that there. Burst volley, and just hit another one. And we'll start going for charge bursts. We're going to get 2 of these. A trick shot. Hit Smuggler's Luck. Aim shot. Trick shot. And then we're back where we started. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. I was going, slowly just to demonstrate. But ideally, if you hit it at full speed, when you drop into cover, this here, the snapshot perk, that should be available. A lot of times I've been able to get all of my attacks out and still take advantage of that instant cast. And then again, if I see an opening, I'll pop out of cover, pop back into cover, snapshot comes right back. Because ideally, when you're using charge burst, you want to fire off 2 of those back to back, and that's what gets your aim shot all nice and primed up. So basically the ideology behind this build is to get as much synergy as possible off of penetrating rounds, and then the rest of this is pretty much built up around getting my aim shot to get a lot of mileage out of that. So basically, whether it's multiple targets or single target, this build has something in it. And I've been having a lot of fun with this. Hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. And I know some of you out there are probably way more experienced than I am when it comes to gunslingers. If you've got some suggestions on the gear, I'm all ears. Because pretty much what I did was I got my cast time, pardon me, down to 1.4. That was my goal. And then I put everything else in the crit. And because of the way crafting is right now, which is what I have available, I'm just using the blues because it's very difficult to get access to purples. And I just threw one of these in each slot, and the 126 endurance on each piece has been very helpful. Because I tried doing a bunch of war zones without the augments and just solo queuing, and I found that I was dying very quickly. Whereas my enemies that I'd be trying to shoot at, it just seemed like I wasn't really hurting them. But after I got everything augmented in, I saw a lot of improvement. So now I can at least sort of compete. Which again, this is my goof-off class. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it's helpful for anyone that was thinking about checking out Marksman Gunslinger. I hope you have some fun with this build, and hopefully you had some fun watching the video. If you got any suggestions on how this can be tweaked to be improved, I'd love to hear it. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.